Hello again, dear friends. In the first video, we learned how we can access Google Docs by writing Docs Google or going to our Google Drive, clicking on New and Google Docs, or our Google account, Google Workspace, our Gmail account here by clicking on Google Apps and clicking Docs. We can access Google Docs. And in the second video, we learned the environment, what are these, and step-by-step we worked it. But my question was that when we are going to start a new document, for example, when I'm going to start a new completely blank document, I click on plus sign. When I click plus sign, this is the document. My question was that if you remember, what is the first thing that we should do? Is it to start writing or do something else? The answer is different. Yes, you can start typing. I mean that here you can start typing and you can start it. Or maybe you can say that, okay, the first thing that is, because for example, you see the default size is 11. If I'm going to type it, for example, with a larger font, I can change it, for example, make it 15 or 16. Make it bold from the beginning, anything, and change the color, for example, blue. I can start now. If I type my name, for example, it will type, it is the same as here, instead of the default font size. But the answer, as I mentioned, it can I bring it to 11 and not make bold and black. Okay, but I think that the best thing is the first thing that you should do. The best and the first thing is do changing the name, because you see it is untitled. When I start typing anything, this is the file that I'm going to type. Okay, click it, make it bold, for example, make it larger, something like this. When I close this, okay, because there is no save here. When I close this, what happens? When I go to Google Docs here, Google Docs, you see it is a recent document. It is untitled and untitled. You will have different untitled documents. I think it is not good. You cannot organize your files. So here again, now I am here. I can click on these three dots and rename it. I can rename it. Or when I click on it, I can click here and rename it. For example, as you see, when I click on it, it has chosen the first letter here. I will write, for example, my first doc and rename it. Now, when I close this, if I go to Docs, you see it is changed, my first doc. And if I want to rename this untitled, again, here I can click on three dots and rename it. For example, test. And okay, so it is better to, when you are starting to write something, it is better, I will click delete them. It is better to click here and rename it. And it is saved by this name. For example, my resume, anything, and anytime you can. So the first lesson we learned is that when you open a new document, rename it. Then you can start typing. As you see, the cursor is blinking here. It means that start typing here. But when you are typing, it will type with this Arial font, 11 size, and none of the formats. And I will start typing. My space name is John Smith. Dot. And space. I have, for example, a master degree or certificate from Seneca College in teaching. Dot. I am experienced in digital skills and coaching. Oh my God, coaching, not coaching. Okay, as I'm typing, I made a mistake. What can I do? I can use backspace on the keyboard and delete. Now, when I'm typing here, as you see here, pay attention. If I'm going to make it bigger for you to see it, or myself, for example, my vision is not good, it is not necessary to change the font size. We can use the zoom here, as you see, the zoom. And when I click on this, for example, make it larger, pay attention. It hasn't changed the font size. The font size is the same 11, okay? It is better to learn the difference between the font size and zoom. On zoom, you make the screen bigger, or even you can make it smaller, shrink it, for example, to see the whole area, or the feet, for example, see based on the feet, or 100, something like this, as you see. But if I want to make it larger, you see much better that what am I doing. So I can use zoom. And also the shortcut for zoom is control plus sign. If I make it control plus sign, it makes it bigger, and control minus sign make it smaller. Control on the keyboard, control minus sign, keep control and minus, keep control and plus sign. It is, as you see, make it larger. Okay, now it is good. I made a mistake on coaching. So what can I do? I can use backspace. When I use backspace, it deletes and clears the words that I have typed. But here, coaching, CH, then I type coaching and dot. But for example, D, I wanted to write capital letter. I can click here. Okay. Now, because the cursor is before D, here I should use delete. When I click on delete, it will clear it, and then I can keep shift and capital. So, for example, I want to write masters M. If I a small letter instead of, if I click on master after M, I should use backspace. So this is the difference between using backspace and delete for deleting, omitting a letter or word. When it is here after M, I can use backspace and then type a small letter M. Okay, but if it was here, for example, before it, I can use delete and then, for example, shift M, capital letter. I see that instead of apostrophe S here, I have used the masters. Pay attention. I can click here after S and using backspace, killing this or omit this, then shift, then comma and S. But I see that I have made a big mistake. Instead of degree, I have written certificate. It is not necessary to delete it word by word. I can select the word. To select the word, I can double click on the word. When I by mouse, I double click on it, I can select it. Now, if I push on backspace, it will go away. Then I can write degree, then space. So again, I make it undo. I click undo again, delete it. So pay attention. To delete a word, it is not necessary to delete letter by letter. It is enough to select all by double click. When you double click, you see it is highlighted. Now it is ready. Even it is not necessary to click on backspace or delete. I can write and it will be inserted. If I write degree, it will be inserted and space, and I can continue. But you see, there is a red line here and there is a blue line here. It is a spell checker. You can have access in tools, a spell and grammar checker. You see, a spelling and grammar check, but it is automatically working here. It gives me a suggestion automatically. It recognizes that this is wrong because it doesn't have in its dictionary. When you go to tools, because it has its own dictionary, okay? It says that I don't have this word in my dictionary. There is something wrong. Is it a special, for example, is it a proper name or something that you have written, or it is wrong? And it gives us a suggestion. It says that Seneca. But I am sure that this is not Seneca with this spelling. If I see that, okay, yes, you are right, I can click here and select it. But I know that Seneca spelling is not like this. So I can myself, instead of this, you see, it recognized now because it recognized that it is a proper name with capital S. You see, capital S, it is a college name in Canada. So I can accept this, or I myself, I can click, select this, then shift S and write it, or with double N or something. Again, it says that no, with one N. It is Seneca. The next thing, if you remember, I have written from. Instead of from, it has recognized, oh, by the grammar, it is something wrong. It should be form, should be from, not like this. And I can click on this and click. Or you see, I don't I want it to be form, because on purpose I have written form. So I can click here, ignore it. Or I can, if I go to tools, spelling and grammar check, it will bring it here. It says that I think that it is from. If I ignore it, I can click here. It is the same as this one. If I accept it, I can click accept. And automatically it goes to here. It says that I think that it is not is like this. It is John. I think, oh, you are right. But again, you see, John is with a small letter. It is not correct. Anyway, I accept it. We will see. And also have. It's recognized have, and I can choose and accept it. And again, goes to John. It says that I think that John is a proper name. Should be right on capital letter, and the blue line. When it is blue line, pay attention. It is grammar mistake. When it is red line, it is like have, it is a spelling. So I accept it. And Smith. Again, Smith is a proper name. It should be with capital S. If I ignore it, it will be the same as it. No, I want to keep it with a small letter. Then If I want, I can click here and backspace and capital. So here we learned that when we are typing, when we see a small, again, I will continue. For example, I am going to teach Google Docs. Okay. Now, as I mentioned here, you see, it is a blue. It shows that it is grammar. So I recommend that even when you have spelling and grammar tools, don't trust on these tools. Proofread, have a proofread after writing a resume document, because maybe sometimes it cannot recognize it. As you see here, some of them he hasn't recognized it. So I am. It automatically changed with a small letter to I am going to. Okay, it is to, yes. It is not take, it is teach. About the Google, what's the problem? It is correct, but it recognized with docs. It says that because it is a proper name, it is better to write with capital Google Docs. So it helps me to correct it. So here we learned how to type and correct it. But if you have problem on typing with the keyboards, if you are not familiar with using the keyboards, I recommend that on the YouTube or Google, you can search for computer basic, getting familiar with keyboards. There are lots of videos that it shows exactly how to use the keyboard. For example, what are these buttons and how to type it using Shift, Control, Alt, and space, backspace, enter, delete, everything that it is necessary to learn with the keyboards. At the end of the video, I will prepare a video for this keyboard. But anyway, because it is not in our activity for Google Docs, you can use, if you are not familiar, you can search on the internet, computer basic, getting familiar with the keyboards and use them. And also for typing, if you want to have speed typing and professional way of typing, there are lots of platforms and apps. One of the best one is Doorway Text Type. Here, this doorwayonline.com. It shows that how you should put your fingers on the keyboard and use both hands if you want. Then step by step you can click and learn. For example, this one, home key, then start, and it will teach you, okay, now you should put like this and click A, then S, something like this with your fingers. Step by step you can type them and learn. And it is a great program and it is free. And also another one, this is Keyboard or keyboard.com. It is the same, you can use, and this is another good program. You can start practicing with this. And also, if you want to start typing with different languages, for example, you want to learn Punjabi or Russian or Farsi, for example, you can click here, start, and typing in your own language. It is good. If you want, you can use this website. It is typingstudy.com. Start typing in English or any language that you want. So in typing, you shouldn't have any problem getting familiar with the keyboards. But my second question for the next video is that should we type the text or step by step when we are typing? For example, I'm going to continue in this tutorial. We will learn about menu bar, toolbar, ruler, something like this. Then I come here, for example, select them and make them bold. Then, for example, number them. And for example, in this tutorial, select it, make it, for example, blue. Then come here, continue the remaining of the text, continue. Should we step by step format our files or type it? What is your idea? Do you think that it is better to type our text without doing any formatting, changing the font size, bolding, or bulleting, anything? Then come and format it. Even before starting the typing, first come here, change, for example, the font size. I want to, for example, type in 14. The font, for example, this kind of font, and the color, I want to keep it all, for example, this color. Then start the typing from the beginning. Which one do you recommend? Change the format that we are going to type, or a step-by-step format when we are typing, or type the whole document and then start formatting, or type your document and at the end format it? What is your idea? Which one is the best one? See you in the third video, continuing formatting and learning these toolbars, how we can use these toolbars and format our text. Not this part, I will clean this part, continue this text or our resume and format it. See you on the next video.